Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2018 Career Mode. Today we are here for round number 3 of Season 7 for the Chinese Grand Prix here at Shanghai. If you guys did miss round 2 for the Bahrain Grand Prix, then do check out the episode by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. But today, like I said, we're here for the Chinese Grand Prix, and pretty much our biggest chance of the season so far to score a big result. This is the AI's I'd say one of their weaker tracks, and a good opportunity for us to really have a strong result, because the AI are pretty consistent in Australia, they're very strong at Bahrain, and they're even stronger at Baku, which is the next race. So it's important to really maximise this race, in my opinion, to really have a good race weekend and actually score as many points as possible. In terms of the R&D, no teams bring any upgrades yet, everyone keeping their cards close to their chest and keeping their R&D points in their pocket, as are we. So nothing really happening there. We're going to save our points and hopefully spend them all going into the Spanish Grand Prix. So basically, at the end of the next episode, we should be able to go on a massive spending spree, and fingers crossed we get multiple upgrades onto the prancing horse going into Spain and the European season. With that being said though, we're going to jump into qualifying here on Saturday at Shanghai. Let's see how things go. Personally, I do quite enjoy Shanghai in this year's game. It's a lot more fun than it ever has been, and it used to be my least favourite track, but now I actually quite enjoy it, and especially since the patch came in with the tyre temperatures is much better, and compared to Russia, which is my least favourite track now, it's night and day difference. I really actually quite enjoy China now. So jumping into qualifying, we're going to go for 3 runs in this session. My best lap was actually my second run, which we'll go on board for, as usual, for the entire lap. And this is currently the end of my first run in qualifying, which, to be fair, wasn't a bad lap at all. It was a pretty strong banker lap. And as far as bankers go, it was one of my best all-time banker laps, really. We go P3, they're just behind Ricciardo, and 4 tenths off the pace from Alonso, who's currently the man on pole position. Then later on, the Saubers would actually set the pace, and we was about a second and a half off the pace. So the Saubers are really quick around here, quicker than I expected them to be honest. And they're in a league of their own. So we're going to try and see what we can do here straight away through turns 1 and 2. We run a little bit wide there and don't get the best time. We do bring it back in for a bit of a late apex as we go through now turn 3, using first gear to really stay nice and tight to the apexes and the curbs. But we definitely lost about a tenth of a second running really wide there through turn 1, as we now go flat out through 4, down towards turn 5, down to second gear. We're a little bit hot on the brakes there, as we actually have to use first gear to rotate and get the car turning in the right direction, as we're currently a tenth down as we now go into the 2 fastest corners on the circuit here. Absolutely flat out through the left, down a couple of gears for the next right, and now we're going to a double apex left, which is very tricky because this corner you want to kind of attack the first one, but you want to at the same time open up the second one to really maximise your speed on this short little straight, as we now break out the 100 metre board for this very tricky off-cambered kind of left-hand hairpin, which then feeds into the next hairpin, which is the long swooping banking. And there's a lot of patience here about picking up the throttle slowly but surely and getting the power down. We do get a very nice exit, keeping it nice and tight, and we are about just literally a fraction down, like 300ths of a second. It's so close, but we've got a lot of time to make up here in these final 2 corners as we break into the hairpin just after the 100 metre board. We managed to get it slowed down just about. Very good braking there, and we actually broke just after the 100 metre board, and now into the final corner. It's all about throwing it in and really attacking the inside curve, let the car run out wide, open up DRS, and we are a 10th up here to improve the P4 just behind Marcus Ericsson, 1.1 off the pace. And to be fair, I knew there was time to gain on my final one, and I did find some time, and I was a tenth and a half up as we went through the fast left and right. But then through the double apex left, I lost it all my time. I'm not really sure what happened here, but I just took a bit more tyre line, and I lost a tenth of a second there, which was really annoying. And I knew the rest of the lap was very strong, so I wasn't convinced I'd be able to hold the rest of the lap time together as we go through the left and the right chicane here. Now through the banking, we actually get a bit of oversteer now, you'll see in a moment, and we just lose the back end a little bit there, and that's going to ruin my traction and momentum onto the back straight for the entire straight. We lost too much time, and pretty much I wasn't able to improve. So as you can see, P8 for us in qualifying. We lost a few places as the session progressed. Annoying because P4 was definitely possible. Not much more though. It would have been very close. It would have taken a perfect lap to get P4. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that we didn't really have the pace that I expected us to have. Dare I say, Sebastian Vettel would have been pretty hard to beat. Just disappointing really, because the car felt good, but it didn't really reflect into actual lap time pace. So not too bad, as Charles Leclerc takes pole. Fernando Alonso P2 in the McLaren, and then Ericsson P3. So we'll see what we can do. I think the realistic target tomorrow is P4 in the race, but I want to try and go one step further and try and get a podium. But let's see what happens. It's a long race, and there's a chance of rain, as you guys saw at the start of the video. So let's just jump into it. Let's see how the race goes. It's time for round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Would you say your rivalry is friendly, or are things a bit tempestuous? Do you feel that you don't need to practice? It's good to get the reliability issues out of the way in practice, isn't it? Appreciate your time.
Ever since the Sauber of Felipe Massa passed Jenson Button into Turn 1 at the very first Chinese Grand Prix in 2004, Shanghai has consistently provided close racing and extraordinary memories. It's where Lewis Hamilton effectively lost the title in his rookie year, and it's where Nico Rosberg claimed Mercedes' first win of the modern era in 2012. Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1 and of course down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Marcus Ericsson. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and starting alongside is Fernando Alonso. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ericsson, Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel and Verstappen, Van Dorn, Martinez, Sainz and Lewis Hamilton, Magnussen, Perez, Romain Grosjean and Ocon, Bottas, Gasly, Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley. Sirotkin and Nico Hülkenberg completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right, here we go then. It's race time for the Chinese Grand Prix. 8th place on the grid. Not the best qualifying, as you saw, and we're going to try and turn that around today in the race. And strategy is going to play a key part, especially with the weather forecast that we have. So let's have a look. As you can see, rain expected. Funnily enough, I've not had this scenario really at all, ever really. It's kind of in the middle of the race, and it's not really majorly heavy rain. So it might be inters, it might not. We'll have to wait and see. My gut tells me the inters won't be necessary, and I think we might stick with the dryers. That's what I'm kind of predicting here. And in terms of the fuel, we are 1.5 laps over, and we're going to go for a 2-stop strategy. I could try the 1, but it's going to be a bit of a push, and I just want to be on the fastest tyres all the time, have the fresh rubber and push, you know, especially because of the rain making the track a little bit damp. I want to be on fresh tyres, so let's see how it goes, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can have a good race. I'm going to make a small adjustment though to the setup, and I'm going to add a little bit more front wing on the car because I want to have a little bit more downforce. So let's get that on straight away, and hopefully we have a little bit more front end grip, because we do struggle with understeer quite badly in this car, especially with the heavy fuel. So let's just jump into it here. Fingers crossed we can have a good start. I'm going to try and be aggressive and make up positions on lap 1. So let's just jump into it and let's see how the race goes. It's time for round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Let's build up the revs and get ready for the 5 red lights here at Shanghai. The lights are on and they are off, and away we go. Not a bad start, to be fair. We actually reacted quite well to the lights, but I bogged down a little bit, which is a little bit annoying because we got that smooth. We could have had a good start, but down the inside of Van Dorn and also Verstappen and Vettel there, just about managing to avoid contact with Danny Rick around the outside of turn 3. Do we have the grip this early on? Oh, Verstappen's just going to hang it around the outside, to be fair to him. Good driving. We're going to cover the inside off here from my teammate Sebastian Vettel and go defensive. Show him the long way round at turn 5. But P6 already 2 positions gained, and we've got past our teammate as well, which is good. I think I just saw a drop of rain. Is that a drop of rain? Yeah, but it's raining already. Just seen drops of rain, so the rain's already here. Okay, this is going to be one of them funny races strategy wise, so let's just we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and take it, you know, lap by lap, corner by corner, but the rain is already dropping here a little bit. It's very, very light, but it is coming down, so we're going to try and manage this and see how things go. I'm going to make an adjustment to the front wing and put it back down to level 3, because in the rain I like to have a bit more of a stable car, so therefore a little bit less front wing. Give me more understeer is kind of what I like, and that's what we're going to do. So we've already made the adjustment for the front wing, just in case the rain arrives. But so far, so good on lap 1. We've had a good start. Like I said, I want to be aggressive and make up the positions. Alonso's held on to P2, which is good for us in terms of how the race goes, because Ericsson's P3, so there's a Sauber up for grabs here. And let's see if P2 is possible at the minute. I wanted a podium, and if not a podium, then P4. But we're looking good here, and I think we've got a good chance if we get past the Red Bulls to make something happen. So let's see how this race pans out. But 1 lap in the books, and the rain is starting to pick up in intensity already. So let's see how this gets on. Will it get worse? Will it get better? We shall find out very soon. We've got Alonso and Ericsson battling out as DRS is now enabled. According to the weather forecast on the radio, this light rain is here to stay. So will it get worse as Ricciardo's getting involved now, and he's trying to go for a move on Alonso here. It's going to be interesting though, because if the rain is here to stay, does that mean we can go straight to the inters? Do we have to stay on the ultras and try and go long? Do I pit in for a set of dries and hope the rain doesn't get much worse? All those people outside the top 10 who started on the fresh set of tyres, if they went for the softs or the mediums, they're going to be in a good position this race in terms of being able to go long and wait to see what the weather does. But people like us on the ultras are forced to make a strategy out of something, so let's see how this goes. It could be quite interesting. We're also just waiting here behind these 3 cars in front, waiting to make a move. The rain is definitely starting to pick up in intensity though. The droplets are becoming more and more apparent, so let's see how this one pans out. I want to try and get some moves done if I can before the rain arrives. Nice clean run through the banking net. Going to get right to the back of Verstappen. What we like for straight line speed, let's find out. Verstappen will have a toe off with his teammate, but we are close enough here to nab a bit of a slipstream on Verstappen and potentially have a run at him. Down the inside of the hairpin, is late on the brakes. We have to be careful to not hit Ricciardo, but we are going to take the position there. Very nice overtake, beautifully timed. Got the car slowed down even in the conditions.
Some information on Vettel. They seem to have an issue.
Oh man, my teammate already, Sebastian Vettel, with car trouble. This is a scheduled pit stop lap, so let's see how this one pans out. Hopefully Vettel doesn't go back too far, but track's getting a little bit more less grippy. I can definitely feel it. There's a little bit more struggle there to pick up the grip. Let's see what happens this lap. I want to see who pits in and who stays out. My gut feeling tells me this race could be in these conditions for the entire race. Therefore, I'm going to come in this lap and I'm going to stick to my strategy of dry tyres. I think the race is going to stay like this the whole way through, and the grip's going to be very low. So we're going to come in for the softs. I've gone back on my change. I've stuck with the 4 on the front wing. Reason being is because I think, realistically speaking, we should be okay for grip. I think the softs are 2 compounds harder, so we're going to need that extra grip, really, realistically speaking, to hopefully compete. Let's see what happens though. It's us 3 along with Leclerc in the pit lane. Hopefully the Ferrari boys are quick. There we go, 2.4. Not the quickest stop, but we are going to jump Ricciardo. Can we jump Alonso as well? Here we go. No, not quite. Alonso stays in front, but we have got past Daniel Ricciardo. We've got relative clean air as well, which is good. And then we've got to try and switch on this soft tyre. I'm banking and gambling on the fact it's not going to get much worse than this, and it's not going to get enough damp for inters. That was not English, but let's move on. So let's try and get these tyres up at temperature. Try and stick with Alonso, which would be great. I want to see how I can perform in this outlap, which is normally where I struggle with cold tyres. And let's see if we can try and potentially undercut Ericsson. I mean, that might be a possibility considering where Alonso is.
Sebastian is in the pits.
So Sebastian Vettel in the pit lane along with plenty of other cars. Track is still not feeling great. Trying to get these tyres up to temperature, which I'm also struggling with. But there's Verstappen, so we've got ahead of Verstappen as well. So that was good because we haven't lost. We've actually gained some time on Max Verstappen there, which is great. So at the minute, we're looking on I think it's net P4 if everyone serves their pit stop for tyres. So that's good. We're not too far behind, really, Alonso as well, so that's gone well. Ericsson, unfortunately, is rejoined just in front of those 2 cars of traffic, which is annoying because it would have been great for him to have to pass a few cars, but still, things are looking good. Track is really not that grippy though. There's not that much confidence on the tyres, so just patience at this stage and see what the weather does and see how the race pans out. Okay, then going through the banking, Alonso on the back of Lance Stroll. Let's try and close in here. Good opportunity to make up some ground on the straight. They're going to be side by side. Stroll has DRS on the car in front. Therefore, Alonso is going to struggle to clear him. Down into the hairpin. Alonso much later on the brakes and the fresher rubber. But still, that's going to put Stroll just offline slightly. We get the traction down. Alonso gets a poor exit here. And had a look, but no way through. Out the final corner. DRS open. Can we have a run at the McLaren? Full engine modes. Do we have enough? I don't think we do. No, not quite. I'm just going to sit back though. Maybe into turn 2 we can have a run. Yes, we do. There we go. We're going to slip underneath. Oh, this is close. A bit of contact with Alonso there. Got to leave him the room on the inside. We're going to go on the outside though of the McLaren. Yes, we find the traction. That's what I'm talking about right there. What a move. as we get past Alonso. Fernando though coming back at us down towards turn 5. We're going to take the inside line though. There it is. Job done. And we are now net P3. Bottas with poor traction there, as you just saw. I'm going to try and close in on him a little bit on the fresh rub, but let's see if we can make a move happen. Right on the outside, is that possible? Yes it is. That's going to be the inside for the next corner, thank you very much. A little bit wide there, understeer kicking in. The track is getting worse. It is getting more damp, but it's still way too dry for wet tyres. We've got Ericsson in front trying to make some moves. This is a good chance for us to make up some progress. Leclerc in front through the banking, also stuck in traffic, so we're making really good progress here. Patience through the banking, let's not get on the power too soon. There we go, now we can speed her up. So far so good though, car's working good, conditions are in our favour. We seem to be the quickest in these kind of mixed conditions, so that's good. I want to keep in rich mix for a little while, see if I can burn off a little bit of extra fuel as we get the hairpin a bit wrong, a little bit deep there on the brakes. Locking up slightly, but we're okay. This is my opportunity to strike here. The Saubers are caught up in traffic, and I am fast in these conditions, very fast in these mixed conditions. The rain's going to be here for another 10 minutes apparently, according to the team radio, and then it's going to disappear. So this 10-minute window is our chance to make some moves happen realistically. So that's what we're going to try and do here. Ericsson trying to get past Hartley there in front of us, side by side with Toro Rosso. We're going to pick up the DRS on Gasly through the banking. Let's be patient here, picking up the traction slowly. Track conditions are really not that good at the minute. It definitely is intermediates right now. If you're in the inters, you're going to gain big chunks of time. Alonso behind me gaining quite a bit there. Gasly actually pulled away quite a bit. That Toro Rosso is pretty quick on the straight, it has to be said. I'm hot in there. No, I'm not. We slow it down, that's fine. I want to try and get Ericsson while he's still behind one car. Good traction there. Into the final corner. Can we get a run on Gasly at least? Here we go, DRS open. Gasly has DRS off of Hartley, which is annoying. So again, like with Alonso, we're going to have to just wait for a minute and then launch it into turn 2. A little bit of contact there with Gasly, just a slight nudge, but luckily no front wing lost. Down the inside of the Frenchman, and there we go, move done. Ericsson's got past Ocon, so he's in clean air now. Just try and get past Brendan Hartley if we can. Power down, good exit, good traction. Hartley doesn't have any DRS, so we're going to try and go down the inside. Into turn 5. Car sliding across the tarmac, but we are going to get the job done. There we go, put 2 Toro Rossos between ourselves and Fernando Alonso as well, which is good. Now let's try and catch up to Esteban Ocon. Let's try and get a good run on Ocon here. We have got his DRS. Just going to try and get up to speed here onto the back straight. There we go, power down now, flat out on the exit. We're certainly within range, so let's try and get past him on the straight. We're definitely not the fastest car on the straight, that's for sure. This Ferrari does struggle. But here we go. Battle of the late breakers. I'm having to focus so much here, but we are going to go down the inside. Another good overtake. Job done. P7 now. Up next, Marcus Ericsson. Let's see if we have more pace than him. Try and hunt him down. Ericsson is stuck in traffic here behind both Haas cars. I think it's 2 Haas cars. I think it's time for the inters, guys. We're going to have to bite the bullet, I think. I'm going to go for it. I'll see what Leclerc and Ericsson do, but I'm kind of leaning towards the inters now. DRS hasn't been disabled yet. Let's see what the Saubers do. But the track is definitely getting a lot harder to hold on to now. It looks like everyone's coming in, so we're going to pit in as well. Ericsson's going to stack behind Leclerc, so we're going to have to come in. We have to take this chance. The Sauber crew will be a little bit slow. Even if it's just the smallest amount, they will be slow, so we need to cash in on that. So here we go into the pit lane. We're going to come in for the intermediates. We're just following what everybody else does. Leclerc pits in and Ericsson's not too far behind. Come on, no hold-ups, please. Nice quick stop, nice quick stop. Get me out, get me out, get me out. No, 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 no. No, this is such a long pit stop. No, let me go. No, oh my God, we've been held up for so long. All the progress we've made for nothing. Oh man, that was a bad one. That was really, really bad.
Sebastian's in for his stop.
Worst thing is that there was a gap there to come out. But look at all the cars that have jumped me. Oh dear. It went from potentially getting Ericsson there due to the stack to now losing out so much ground. Oh dearie me, that was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. Right, intermediates time. Let's try and switch these on. Let's make some wet weather moves because that's all we've got left now. DRS disabled, there you go. Right then, let's get our head down and make up some places. Right, we've got cars leaving the pit lane here. A Renault and a Toro Rosso. There's Ocon leaving the pit lane. Side by side with Gasly. That's going to put Ocon on the back for a little bit, as will Gasly down the inside of the Force India. We're going to get that place back. So back up to P9. So we haven't lost that much in terms of positions, but we've lost a lot in terms of time. I mean, if that pit stop had been smooth, we'd be so much further ahead. Here we are then behind Gasly. Can we go for the lunge into turn 5? Oh dear. Oof. That was close. Locked up, double lock up on the front. Power down. There we go. Good traction found. Side by side. We're going to just get it around the outside of Pierre for P8. There we go. The pressure paid off. Pierre had to yield. So good stuff so far. Ericsson's still in that trainer car, so he's still there. He's not too far away, so the hold up must have been pretty bad to him as well. So let's try and catch up to this train and try and make some progress. There's no DRS, so it's going to be harder for Ericsson to make the moves on the back straight. So in other words, it's a good opportunity for us to try and close in, but we need to find the groove and the rhythm on these tyres. Oh, yellow flag. Wonder what's happened here. Let's find out. I think it's the McLaren. Oh, yes, it is. It's Alonso. Yeah, Fernando Alonso. He's out of the Grand Prix.
Some information on Alonso. They are out of the race.
There you go, confirmation. So Alonso out in the McLaren. That's going to give us a net position. However, that does take a little bit of pressure off Ericsson, as he's now going to have a clear track. He was about to start battling with Alonso, so that's a little bit annoying, but still making good progress here. Got a strong pace. We're closing in on Perez, so let's try and get past him if possible. We've got so much more grip than Perez there through turns 1 and 2. Let's see if we can get close through turn 3, get a good exit on traction, and maybe put him under pressure. Power down. There we go, good exit, strong exit. I'm going to get the run. I thought about it on the brakes. This time, unlike Gasly, we don't risk it so much. Traction down. Again, we're going to get close to Perez here, going through the fast left. Going to carry the speed through. Let's try and stay nice and close for the right. Perez a little bit slow on the apex. We're going to have a look around the outside. Not quite the opening just yet. Very close to Perez now. I want to see if this time I can get him into turn 3. Going to get very close this time. Try and straighten her up. On the power nice and early. But still Perez gets a good exit. And we're not going to get close enough. I'm going to try a different line this time. A little bit deeper into turn 5. Straighten her up.
Sebastian is in the pits.
Still the same end product. We can't really gain much.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Oh, okay, DRS enabled, so back to the dries, I guess, as I'm trying to get past Perez here. Oh my god, I'm struggling so much. It's such an awkward race for strategy, it really is. Vettel's timed it beautifully, he's come in.
Got that confirmed.
Track still seems pretty wet though, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Probably will come in just to play it safe. I'm concentrating so much though, this race is really testing me mentally. Terrible, terrible banking there, just cannot get any grip through there at all compared to the AI. In the wet, traction control is just so much stronger. But Leclerc's coming in, so that's normally the sign, so let's come in. Hopefully this time we don't get held up. Dare I say, hopefully we can actually undercut Perez in a pit stop battle if we just get a good pit entry. Here we go, up to speed. Let's have a good pit entry. Trying to attack. There we go. Warning for corner cutting, but that's not a corner cut in my opinion. That's just attacking the pit entry. There we go. Good entry as well. Right, we should be able to get Perez here, I think. We've got the pit stop efficiency to do it. Come on, boys. There we go. 2.4. Good stop. Could have been a little bit better, but we do get past Perez. There you go. Perez onto softs, quite interestingly enough. A lot of people going for mediums. We're going for mediums. We're going to the end of the race on these tyres. So let's see. Up to speed now. The track's still going to be very green, very raw. Perez will have the grip advantage at first, I think, on those soft tyres. There's Grosjean. Ericsson's still there. We've kept him in our sight the entire race, but now it's back to dry. I'm not sure if I'll have the pace to get him or not. I'm kind of reliant on the traffic in front, to be honest. Taking it very easy, but the track is definitely dry, I know. It's dried up a lot. Just in the pits, in the time we was in the pits, it's dried up a hell of a lot. Although we still got to be careful that I try to push the brakes already, and there's no temperature in the brakes or the tyres, so need to give her the respect it deserves. Perez is on to me here. had a pretty okay banking, but the track still isn't dry, and that's given Perez the advantage on traction. He goes to the inside. I'm going to squeeze him as much as I can. Late on the brakes, Perez does lock up. He's going to put on the back foot slightly, using first gear to find the traction, but Perez has the grip on the softs. I'm going to swarm all over him. There's been contact there. Ericsson's involved, I think. Yeah, Ericsson's involved. This with Hulkenberg. I think Ericsson went to turn left. Hulkenberg was going right into the pit lane, and they've come together. So we do get past Marcus Ericsson. Meanwhile, we're still on the back of Perez here, trying to make something happen. Can I find the grip underneath him here into turn 2? There was some grip there, but we're going to have to just back out for now and be patient. We haven't got to get past Ericsson now, so it's patience. There's 3 cars in front of us, and that's separating us from the podium. We've got the rest of the race to take them apart one by one systematically. So let's take our time. Plenty of laps to do it. Compose ourselves. It's a P2 up for grabs, so let's just try and settle down and make these moves. Perez and myself are going to really close up to Grosjean here. We've both got a toe. Grosjean actually goes defensive into the hairpin, which was quite surprising. Grosjean on the mediums, of course. Perez on the softs, like we mentioned. So Perez will have that advantage at first. Will he be able to go to the end? I'm not really sure. I'm not convinced. Into the final corner though. Good speed carry there. DRS open. Unfortunately, Perez is going to have to run on Grosjean though, so it's going to be quite hard to pass Sergio Perez here. The turn 1, Perez actually goes to move on Roman Grosjean. Oh, this is going to be close. I'm going to try and find the grip underneath. Can we get... Oh, not quite. I'm not going to back into that. I'm just going to take it easy. Perez over. Lovely move on Roman, to be fair. Good credit to him. Tyres are pretty much there now in terms of temperature. Track's coming back to us now. I'm starting to feel confident in the traction. So I should be able to start pushing soon if I just stay composed. I think by next lap it should be fully dry. So let's try and get past Grosjean as soon as we can here. I don't let Perez get away, although I'm expecting him to pit again. But he might not. So just in case, we need to try and keep Perez in our sight. Okay, good exit out of the banking, but Grosjean, just like Perez, seems to have very good straight line speed, so we're not really going to make much progress here. Just have to sit behind him for now. I'm very good on the brakes into the hairpin, but unfortunately with Perez in front, I can't really dive too deep on the brakes. Let's try and get a good final corner here. Maybe get a run on the pit straight on Grosjean. There we go, look at the corner, couple will take it. No warning given, so therefore it counts in my opinion. Here we go, we've got the run. Down the inside of Grosjean to turn 1. There it is, a little bit wide. Bring it back onto the grass. I've got to be careful with that, otherwise you spin. So unfortunately, we have to give the position back. Just too hot on the brakes there. Track grip not entirely there just yet, but this is frustrating me already here because there's 3 cars in the same straight. I need to pass them all. I don't think Grosjean will have DRS this time, so I'm going to have a much better chance of getting past him. Here we go, we're gaining on the Haas. Come on, let's try and get this one done this time. Late on the brakes, into the hairpin, Grosjean locks up. That's my strong point. That's my strongest brake zone in the entire circuit, and it's the one that matters. There we go, P5. Just realised we're batting for P3 here, not P2, as Magnussen's actually P2 in the outer Haas. But still, P2 is possible. I don't really know what tyres Magnussen or the Mercedes in front are on, so that's also going to be a factor in this race. But we're finally in clean air. Now I can start to push a little bit. Let's get after Perez. Personal best, 32.5. Strong pace, enough pace, fast to be faster than the cars in front. 2 cars in front. It's actually Lewis then. He is on the mediums from what I can just tell from a distance. So Lewis on the same strategy as me, so it's important to get past him as well. I want to try and get past Perez before Perez gets past Lewis preferably. So let's try and close him down and get to the back of him this lap if possible. Well, Perez is going to go for the move on Hamilton here. Not much we could have done. Perez still has very strong pace from those soft compound tyres. And if he goes many more laps, he's going to start going to the end of the Grand Prix. So hopefully he'll come back to us later on in the Grand Prix. Meanwhile now, Hamilton's next, and he's going to be vulnerable. You know how poor that Mercedes is. He's doing a great job of doing P4 at the minute. But it's time to make a move and try and get past him if possible. Good run through the final corner there. Here we go. Momentum and a nice slipstream on Lewis Hamilton. Go to the inside. This time let's hold the line. There we go, that's much better. Much tidier. Inside line held. P4 now. Let's try and pull away whilst Hamilton is still behind me, so Ricciardo can have some fun with trying to get past Lewis Hamilton. And let's try and get after Sergio Perez and get past him once and for all for that 3rd place on the podium. Personal best. Just having a check on my tyres. Everything looks good so far, so the attack on Perez is well and truly on, and I'm starting to sense his softs are just starting to lose a little bit of grip now. Ricciardo has got past Lewis, but he's definitely not as fast as he was in Bahrain on those soft tyres. He's definitely also struggling a bit like Perez, so we should be able to get past him fairly soon. Magnussen in second place has got a good pace, and if I don't get past Perez this lap, I don't think I'm going to have a chance of catching him, even though I think he's already quite far away. I want to at least have a try. So let's try and get past Perez as happy as possible and make the progress. Let's focus on getting a good run through the banking here. Nice, clean, smooth run. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Easy does it. We're within range. This should be pretty doable, even though the force is quite fast. There we go. Right, that force is really fast, but we're gaining. Oh my god, I don't think we've got enough. Perez does hold on. I'm going to go down the inside though, nonetheless. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. From very far back, you pull it out the bag. Beautiful overtake. Move for the race, without a doubt. Got to be careful running wide now, because I'm literally on 2 warnings. If I get one more, I'm going to get a penalty. Personal best, 31.9. Magnussen 7 seconds up the road. Can we catch him? Let's see. Time for a few consistent clean air qualifying laps, if we do have the tyres left, which I think we might just have enough. Ricciardo's made the move on Perez. Lost a little bit of time in the process, but he's still made the move. We're gaining on Magnussen, and we're a second clear of Ricciardo, but for how much longer? 2 laps to go. I know how the AI likes to speed up in the closing stages, so this could be pretty tasty and also pretty intense. We match a personal best. Ricciardo is the man that's going to challenge me here. He's hanging in there. He's got pace. His soft tyres are still holding on, so it's going to come down to the back straight this. My tyres are starting to go a little bit on the rear, so I'm struggling for stability, so I need to take it a little bit easier than I would like. Lock up there, that's not good. It's going to put me offline a little bit through the banking. Let's keep it nice and tight, then open it up. Taps at full works. Overtake ERS, let's burn what we have left of the battery here. Let's really use this up. Ricciardo's got DRS. To be fair, he's quite far back. He's actually a little bit further back than last lap, so we're going to play it safe. Turn everything down. A little bit deep onto the brakes of the hairpin there, but that's fine. We've got it all under control. And there we go then. A good race, a good recovery today, and considering that terrible pit stop, we're going to bring home the 3rd place and our first podium under Ferrari. Sì ragazzi. Whew. That was a really crazy race, guys. really just tiring and stressful.
Brilliant stuff from Sauber today. What a superb victory. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
Looks like they're on their way out to the podium now, and what a result this is, and what a popular one with the crowd as well. Great stuff to see the Sauber team on top here today.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? Another podium. You must be getting used to it up there. We all underestimated you, didn't we? How do you think your rival feels about today? Great. Well, that's everything.
Right, so looking at the final race results, Charles Leclerc wins for Sauber, Kevin Magnussen P2 for Haas, fair play, and the driver of the day there on the 2-stop strategy, really good drive from him, and we get 3rd place on the podium. We managed to beat everyone else in the top 10 who qualified on the Ultras and was on the same strategy as us, so pretty good race, or I say everyone except for Leclerc, but you get what I mean. We beat most cars around us, you know, Ericsson, also my teammate as well, and then Alonso retired, you know, just we beat the nearest rival, so that's a good race for us. Daniel Ricciardo P4, Sergio Perez P5, Romain Grosjean P6, Lewis Hamilton P7, and then we've got Van Dorn, Verstappen and Ocon rounding off the points, and to be fair, I'm quite happy. I might not sound it because I'm quite drained from that race, believe it or not, but all in all, a good weekend, and our first podium in red for Ferrari, which I'm very, very happy about, and hopefully the first of many. Now, in terms of the best of the rest, we've got Gasly, Sainz, Ericsson, Danny P13, Bottas, Sebastian Vettel P15, Hartley, Stroll, Hulkenberg and Sorokin all just outside the points, and Alonso the only retirement of the Grand Prix. Now, in terms of what that race means for the Drivers' Championship, as you can see, we jump up to third place behind both of the Saubers, overtaking Ricciardo and Alonso as well, so that's good news. And Magnussen jumps up to 6th place with that 2nd place finish, and Vettel drops out of the top, or the visible part of the table should we say, down to P15. He's still only on 1 point in the other Ferrari, so a disappointing start of the season for Sebastian Vettel, although to be fair, this race he had car trouble, so not entirely his fault. In terms of the constructors though, we dropped down to P5. Haas actually overtake ourselves and Red Bull Racing up to P3 there, and it's very close from McLaren down to us. There's 4 cars going for that 2nd position, so it's very, very close. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Career Mode. If you did enjoy it, then please do drop a like, subscribe if you are new, and we'll get some big upgrades on the car on the next race after Baku for the Spanish Grand Prix, so do tune in for that one, guys. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them, and other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on my next episode very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.